Rain fell on the streets of Newark City. These were spring rains, which normally bring with them the promise of life and growth. But that night, as the pluvian nectar mixed with the metal and stone aroma of the city, the rains were promising something other than life, something entirely different. Near the harbor, just outside a particularly unappealing dive bar named The Pier, a young woman no older than 25 stumbled outside. She was Latina, Chicana to be exact. She seemed to have been drinking that night. She was wearing a purple plaid pleated schoolgirl miniskirt, a light pink dress shirt tied in the front, exposing her stomach ever so slightly, with the sleeves rolled up, and black red-bottom Mary Jane pumps. She brushed a strand of her tactfully messy dark brown hair out of her face. She was holding her purse, which she had managed to hold on to during the slight scuffle that had taken place inside mere moments before. She reached into her purse and pulled out her flask. She took a deep swig from it. She accidentally dropped her flask, and it clanged loudly on the sidewalk. She winced.
Shit.
She stumbled to pick it up and began walking towards the alleyway, her urge to go home growing stronger by the second. After a minute or so, she stopped, realizing she was being followed. She turned around, and what she saw made her roll her eyes. 3 guys, dressed almost identically in torn, sleeveless jean jackets with dark-colored hoodies and sweatpants. They were big guys, much bigger than her. They were all grinning. Great. Here she was again, getting ambushed in an alley by creepy men. Lovely. They began to circle her, cheering as they did so.
Oh, whoa! Hey, where you going, sweetness?
Yeah, girl. Where you going, little mama?
Didn't your mom ever teach you not to talk to strangers?
Then let's not be strangers, little mama. Si tú quieres, te daré este chorizo que tengo aquí.
The woman scoffed, rolled her eyes, and put a hand on her hip.
Verdad? You kiss your fat whore of a mother with that mouth?
The fuck you just say about my mama?
Oh, why so unfriendly, huh? Well, we're just trying to have a conversation with you.
Really? Circling me like sharks is trying to have a conversation? That's what you're calling it now? Do yourselves a favor, go the fuck home with your tired ass lines.
I don't think you understand how this works. It's 3 of us, doll. Whatever we want from you.
He walked up to her and put the metal of a gun barrel to her head.
We're just gonna take it. So why don't you shut the hell up and give my friend here a little kiss?
Yeah. You're gonna wish you hadn't said that.
Lightning flashed overhead and thunder clapped. And using that moment of distraction, the young woman grabbed the second thug's arm at the wrist and shoulder, curving it out of the way and aiming his gun at his buddy. He reacted by pulling the trigger, hitting the third thug in the leg. The third thug screamed and dropped to his knees. With nothing but raw strength, the young woman snapped the third thug's arm in about 3 places, forcing the gun to drop to the ground. She grabbed his arm and twirled so he was facing behind her, his arm extended across her shoulders. She threw herself backwards to the ground, causing the thug's face to connect with the ground with a crack. She cartwheeled back to her feet, grabbing the gun in the process and shooting the first thug's hand and kneecap. He dropped his gun and also went down to his knees. She walked to the first thug and kicked him in the cheek. He was out. She shot a look behind her and did a backflip, delivering a perfect kick to the top of the third thug's head, sending him to the ground, where he fell unconscious. She leaned down to each thug and kissed all 3 of them on the cheek, leaving a small amount of dark red lipstick as if to mark them. She stood up and surveilled her handiwork before tossing the gun into a puddle.
And that's kicking your ass.
Her phone buzzed. She looked down at it and saw that she had received a text message.
We found him. He is with the Guardians. We must begin to make our move, Slayer. The king commands us.
On my way.
By now, a slight pool of blood had appeared on the ground, mixing with rainwater. The young woman noticed it touching her shoe, and she shook it off.
Ew, gross. These were expensive.
She shook her head and walked toward the back of the alley, leaving behind her the sound of her heels clicking on the cobblestone and the raspy breathing of 3 thugs unconscious in the dirty alleyway. RedWing returns January 2019. Until then, stay subscribed to this channel. There's going to be a lot more content coming to you via this channel and various updates and things, and you're going to want to stick around and catch those. Stay safe and fly high, heroes.